If this video found you, it's not random. Life has a quiet way of reaching out when words no longer do. Maybe you've been surrounded by people, yet somehow still feel unseen. You've been doing everything right, working, showing up, staying strong, but inside something's been asking for stillness. Carl Jung once said, "What you most need will be found where you least want to look." And the Stoics said the same thing, just differently. They called it the moment of alignment, when you stop running and finally face what's been running you. That's what this moment is. Not a lecture, not advice, a mirror for the one who's been holding it all together while quietly coming apart. Because real strength doesn't look like winning. It looks like awareness. The moment you finally stop forcing and start understanding. The moment you realize solitude isn't punishment, it's preparation. So if you're here, let the world fade for a while. You don't need to chase peace anymore. You're already standing where it begins. Maybe you weren't lost after all. You were just being guided back to yourself. There comes a time when life looks perfectly stable, yet inside something starts to tremble. You wake up in the same bed, drink the same coffee, drive the same route, and still everything feels strangely foreign. You've been doing everything right, but your laughter feels borrowed, your energy rehearsed. One morning you realize the noise you once chased has turned into an echo. The messages, the goals, the rush, they all come back empty. You tell yourself, maybe I'm just tired. But rest doesn't fix a silence this deep. It's not burnout. It's the soul's quiet rebellion. It happens to everyone who's been strong for too long. The body keeps moving, but the spirit starts whispering, "What for?" That's the moment when your outer life no longer matches the truth you have been hiding inside. Most people panic when it happens. They double down on success, on busyness, on noise. But silence is stubborn. It follows you home. If you've ever felt that kind of silence, stay a little longer. It's not leaving until you listen. It sits in the pauses of every conversation, in the songs you skip, in the thoughts you can't turn off. Sometimes it finds you at a red light or in the middle of a sentence you can't finish. The instant life goes quiet enough for truth to enter. One night, it's when the world finally sleeps, it speaks, not in words, but in ache. This life looks like you, it says, but it's not you. That's not a collapse. It's a return. What's falling apart isn't your life, it's your disguise. If this video found you, it's because something inside has been waiting to be seen. You may think you're breaking down, but you're breaking open. From that opening, light enters, softly, patiently. Don't rush to fix it. Don't fill the void. Sit with it tonight. Let the silence ask its question. Write one honest sentence about how you truly feel. No edits, no mask. Don't rush to replace silence with distractions. Stillness isn't dangerous. It's sacred. Because silence isn't the absence of sound, it's the presence of truth. When the outer world quiets, your real voice finally gets a chance to speak. Maybe what it's saying is simple. You were never lost. You were being found. Maybe peace isn't something you search for. Maybe it begins the moment you finally hear yourself again. And once you hear that truth, the next step begins. You'll need to decide what's still worth carrying. When truth enters your life, it never knocks. It slips in through the smallest crack, a sleepless night, a long drive home, a question that won't stop echoing. It arrives quietly but rearranges everything. Suddenly you begin to notice the invisible weights you've been dragging. Expectations, obligations, guilt disguised as duty. You've called it strength, but it was only survival. You've carried so much for so long that peace itself now feels suspicious, almost foreign. Real strength isn't how much you can hold. It's knowing what to set down. You can't walk your true path with hands full of things that don't belong to you. Some weights were handed down, family worries, inherited shame. Others you picked up just to feel worthy. None of them define who you are. Freedom begins the moment you stop confusing endurance with purpose. You weren't built to be everyone's solution. You were built to be responsible for your side of the bridge. Meet others in the middle, or not at all. The Stoics taught that clarity is compassion. See what lies within your control and release what doesn't. It isn't coldness, it's mercy toward your own soul. Even Atlas had to kneel sometimes. Before reacting, pause. Ask yourself in silence, is this mine to hold? If not, bless it and let it fall. The world won't collapse. It will simply become lighter. Try it once. Stand at your desk tonight and touch one object that has lost its meaning. A folder, a gift, an old promise. Place it aside and whisper, I release you. Your back straightens. Your breath deepens. People may think you've grown distant, but what they're seeing is peace, not detachment. The one who no longer reacts to every storm holds real power. Control isn't domination, it's emotional sovereignty. Each night, review your day. What truly mattered? What drained you for no reason? Release one unnecessary battle, one pointless worry. Every small letting go is a quiet act of awakening, because the man or woman who learns to choose their burdens doesn't become cold. They become clear. That's the power that awoke within, steady, invisible, unshakable, the kind no one praises but everyone feels. Notice how light your body becomes when you stop holding what was never yours. That isn't loss. That's freedom rediscovered. And once the weight begins to fall away, something harder appears. The urge to run. At first, stillness feels like failure. You've lived your whole life in motion, chasing approval, success, belonging. The running kept you alive. It gave your pain a purpose. But when the noise fades, a quieter fear arrives. What if I stop and find nothing left? That fear isn't danger. It's the signal that you've reached the edge of who you were. Running is rarely pursuit. It's escape in disguise. You were never racing the world. You were running from the part of you that's tired of pretending. Every time you accelerate, it follows. Each new goal only resets the treadmill. The only way out is to stop. Stopping isn't quitting. It ends the habit of running from yourself. Stillness isn't surrender. It's mastery. When you stop, the dust settles, and what remains is truth. Unmasked and unperformed. The ancients called this alignment the meeting of reason and courage. Depth psychology calls it the encounter with shadow, the reunion with the forgotten self you buried beneath survival. Both describe the same threshold. Awareness. When fear arises, don't fight it. Name it. Sit beside it as you would an exhausted friend. Ask gently, what are you trying to protect? Listen without judgment. The answer may sting, but that sting is cleansing, the ego loosening its grip. Then something quiet changes. The world no longer feels like a battlefield. Conversations slow. Solitude stops aching. You realize everything you've been chasing, love, peace, meaning was never ahead of you. It was beneath the noise, waiting for you to stop running long enough to hear it. Stopping isn't quitting. It's ending the habit of running from yourself. That's where direction starts being honest. Let tomorrow begin slower. Pour your coffee slower. Look out the window before you check your phone. Let silence greet you before the world does. That's not withdrawal, that's training. When you stop running, life stops chasing. And that's when you meet the power that awoke within, steady, unseen, undeniable. For the first time, you're not surviving, you're living. But when you start living, the hidden parts of you start waking too. When you stop running, peace doesn't come first. Your shadow does. It doesn't threaten. It waits. In the quiet, you begin to see the faces you have hidden behind achievement. Envy that drove you to compete. Pride that feared being unseen. The ache for love disguised as discipline. You thought they vanished when you became mature. They didn't vanish. They hid beneath your image of strength. Every human carries this unseen twin, the side that wants what reason forbids. It's not wicked, it's wounded. Your shadow stores every impulse you once rejected to survive. Your longing to be adored, your rage at being ignored, your grief that never found words. It never disappears. It leaks through decisions, tones, silences. The danger isn't having darkness, it's denying it. The more you suppress, the more it scripts your life from behind the curtain. Success hides this best. Prestige becomes a mask that fits too well. You start performing goodness instead of feeling it. But the soul can't breathe behind masks. So life cracks them open through betrayal, failure, or a loneliness you can't justify. Not punishment, purification. When that happens, don't rebuild the image. Sit among the ruins and listen. What you call collapse might be the soul's attempt to integrate what you abandoned. You're not broken. You're becoming real. You're not broken. You're surfacing. Name one thing you've been pretending not to feel lately. Say it once, quietly, and watch how its power fades. Look at it. Name it. Watch how it softens. The monster becomes a mirror. It stops whispering, "You're not enough," and begins to say, "You're real." No triumph can match that peace. The man who befriends his shadow fears no exposure because he has nothing left to hide. You were never made to be flawless. You were made to be whole. And once you face your shadow, the outer fire loses power because calm has moved inside. It's easy to look serene when life behaves. Anyone can meditate in comfort, speak of balance and sunlight. But when the ground splits, when you're misunderstood, when plans unravel, when control slips, philosophy stops being theory and becomes oxygen. Most confuse calm with inaction. Stillness isn't freezing, it's anchoring. Like a ship in rough water, the waves still crash, but the anchor holds. Calm is that anchor. When chaos strikes, the first battle isn't with circumstance, it's with reaction. The untrained mind lunges to fix or flee. The disciplined one breathes, observes, and waits until emotion cools. From clarity, choices heal. From panic, everything fractures. You can't stop the storm, but you can stop becoming it. You can't change the weather, but you can keep your hands on the wheel. Pause in the next argument before you speak. Feel the pulse in your chest, the breath rising. Choose silence long enough for wisdom to catch up. That's not weakness, it's power restrained. Because restraint isn't repression, it's direction. You start noticing the pattern. Every crisis once felt fatal, yet here you are. Pain didn't ruin you, it refined you. What looked like loss was pruning, life shaping you into something steadier. Each deliberate pause rewires the nervous system. Your heart learns a new rhythm, unhurried, deliberate, strong. Soon, weather still turns, but they no longer own you. Calm doesn't mean nothing moves. it means nothing moves you. Even fire can't burn what's become light. And in that quiet mastery, a rarer strength begins to rise. The strength to learn from pain instead of through it. If this felt like a mirror at the right time, tap like so it finds the next person who needs it tonight. Peace is not given. It's trained. The same way muscles form through resistance, peace forms through confrontation. Not with others, but with your own impulses. Most people wait to feel calm before acting calmly. The Stoic learns to act calm while chaos still screams. That's discipline, the bridge between intention and instinct. Every day, life tests your emotional reflexes. A delayed message, a careless comment, a plan that unravels. You can't control the triggers, but you can choose the space between them. That space, one steady beat wide, is where strength lives. I learned this in a waiting room once. A phone kept buzzing. A man kept sighing. I just counted one breath, and the room stopped owning me. The mind wants to react. The soul waits. Choose the soul. Practice this. When irritation rises, pause before words escape. When disappointment bites, breathe once before deciding what it means. Your calm is not weakness, it's containment. Peace is not the absence of fire, it's the mastery of your spark. To build peace, you must first break the addiction to noise. Check your phone less, speak less, argue less. Every silence you choose builds invisible armor. Soon you'll feel it. The shift from emotional gravity to spiritual clarity. Remember, calm is not natural. It's built through repetition. Each restraint, each breath, each choice not to be pulled by emotion is a brick in your fortress. Don't chase balance. Train it. Training is boring, and that is why it works. Consistency is how the soul learns a new reflex. You'll know you're growing when provocation no longer pulls you down, when others lose their power to disturb what's steady inside. That's not detachment. It's control earned through awareness. And when the day finally ends, don't ask, was it peaceful? Ask, did I practice peace? Because mastery is not measured in moments of ease, but in how quietly you stand when the noise demands a reaction. There's a turning point in every life when you stop chasing what once defined you. You used to run toward validation, the compliment, the applause, the next step that proved you mattered. But one day the chase feels heavy. You realize every victory that fed your ego starved your peace. Freedom begins when you no longer need to be seen winning. You don't need to be seen winning. You need to be seen by yourself. You start to crave quiet victories, the kind no one notices, keeping your word, staying kind when anger tempts you, walking away from noise. That's the strength no one claps for, yet it changes everything. The Stoics warn that desire, not destiny, makes us restless. You can own the world and still feel poor if your worth depends on pursuit. True wealth is the ability to sit in stillness without hunger. The moment you can enjoy simplicity, the chase ends on its own. Try this. Next time you feel the urge to prove, stop. Why? Who am I trying to convince? If the answer isn't yourself, it's time to let go. Because peace and performance rarely live in the same room. You'll start noticing how life slows when you stop reaching for what's leaving. Some people drift away, but what remains is real. A friend stopped posting wins online for a month. He said he slept better and started calling his sister again. Simplicity becomes luxury. Quiet becomes reward. No longer chasing doesn't mean apathy. It means you've shifted your loyalty from outcomes to integrity, from recognition to presence. You no longer need to run after what's temporary because what's permanent has finally awakened inside you. And in that stillness, you find something rare, fulfillment without achievement. That's not giving up. That's coming home. The Stoics called it eudaimonia, a state where the soul is content because it's aligned with truth. When you reach that, you stop chasing everything, except the quiet that never fades. What was the first thing you had to stop chasing before peace found you? If you need a minute, pause here. When you're ready, we'll step into the harder part, the place where pain speaks. Pain is not the enemy, it's the invitation. Most people spend their lives running from it, medicating it, masking it with distraction. But pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to strip away what can no longer stay. What you call suffering is often life's way of saying, you're ready for truth. At first you resist, you tighten around the ache. You ask, why maybe? But pain is patient. It waits until resistance exhausts itself. Only then does it reveal its message. Everything you've lost was never truly yours. Every wound points you back toward what cannot be taken. Your essence. The Stoics saw pain as a teacher, not a punishment. What hurts clarifies. If you endure it consciously, you discover a strange calm beneath it. Not the absence of hurt, but the presence of meaning. Even in agony, the soul whispers, this is growth. Practice this. When pain returns, don't drown it in distractions. Inhale once, name it. Then ask, what is this pain trying to make visible? The answer won't always be gentle, but it will always be true. Take your time. Pain speaks softly once it knows you're listening. Look back. The moments that shattered you also shaped you. You became wiser, softer, more aware. You stopped chasing approval and started seeking peace. That's the hidden alchemy of pain. It turns ego into understanding. When you start to see pain as purification, not punishment, everything changes. You stop fearing it. You start using it. The mind tightens. The heart learns to open. And from that opening, something sacred enters. Resilience, humility, grace. That is the gift hidden in pain. It reminds you who you were before the world told you who to be. If someone you care about is caring too much, send them this. Sometimes the right words arrive through a friend. And if today still hurts, that's not failure. It's proof you're finally feeling what needed to be felt. So far, you've stopped running, learned to set the weight down, faced what hides, and built calm where fire once ruled. You didn't escape pain, you turned toward it. Now we test it in motion, because wisdom means nothing until it's tested against noise. There's a kind of silence only cities know, the pause between sirens, when even the street holds its breath. That's where composure is forged. The strongest one in the room is often the calmest, not because they don't feel, but because they've learned not to hand their power away. Life will test you through people who misunderstand you, betray you, or project their chaos onto you. The warrior's test is not to strike back, but to remain centered while everything shakes. The Stoics called this ataraxia, tranquility in motion. True power is the ability to stay kind under pressure, clear under insult, composed under fire. It's not suppression, it's self-respect. You fight not to win arguments, but to keep your peace intact. So, try this. The next time anger rises, step back, not to retreat, but to observe. Watch how quickly emotion tries to claim you. Feel its pull, then breathe until it passes. Every time you do, you reclaim ground inside yourself. That's the quiet battlefield no one sees. Hear the room. Feel your ribs lift. Power returns when you don't spend it. The still warrior doesn't wear armor. They become it. His silence disarms conflict. His restraint exposes others' noise. They walk through hard weather untouched, not because the world changed, But because he did, you will still shake. You will still care. You'll just stop bargaining with your peace. I used to defend myself with words. One day I didn't. The room went quiet. That's when I discovered silence speaks louder than victory. And when the world asks, "Why don't you fight?" he smiles, knowing real battles are never outside. They're within, fought between reaction and awareness, between fear and choice. The day you learn to be quiet amid chaos is the day the world loses its grip on you. If you've learned to stay calm when everything shakes, comment still. Let's see how many of us have reached this place. That's not avoidance. That's evolution. Stillness is not the end of war. It's the moment you realize you've already won. If you're still here, it means a quiet part of you is already changing. Breathe once, we begin again. Presence is the rarest form of strength in a distracted world. Anyone can appear busy, loud, or impressive, but very few can truly be here. When your attention is scattered, life feels fragmented. But when your awareness gathers in one place, your breath, your body, your moment, power quietly returns, not the kind that controls others, but the kind that governs yourself. It cuts through illusion, confusion, and fear. Most people spend their days reacting to notifications, opinions, moods, losing themselves in the static of everything urgent. Attention is ownership. Wherever you place it, you live there. But when you begin to live deliberately, every second expands. You stop living in tomorrow's anxiety and start noticing the miracle of now. Try this. When you drink water, only drink water. When you walk, only walk. Let every act become a meditation in motion. The world will still move fast, but you'll move through it slowly, untouched. The Stoics taught that control begins with perception. If you master where your mind rests, you master your life. The body can be tired, but awareness never tires. It simply needs to be reclaimed. The moment you pull your focus back from what you can't control, presence sharpens into clarity. Presence doesn't mean retreating from life. It means being fully awake inside it. Presence makes you easier to love because you finally show up to the moment you're in and to the person in front of you. Presence also returns you to people, clearer, kinder, more reliable. You stop chasing the future because you realize everything you sought, peace, connection, direction, was already woven into this breath. Look around, the ski, the light in your desk, the sound in the room. That's life happening, unfiltered. That's where truth lives. Power isn't the noise that demands attention. It's the quiet that commands it. And when you live from that space, you stop trying to impress the world. You simply embody it. Because presence isn't something you practice, it's something you remember. It's the soul returning home, one breath at a time. And when you forget again, it's okay. Every pause is a chance to return. After the storms, there comes a silence that doesn't ache anymore. It's not emptiness, it's renewal. The noise of ambition fades, and what remains is something deeper than peace. Understanding. You begin to see that life was never punishing you. It was preparing you. Every fall, every rejection, every restless night, each was a hand chiseling you back to essence. You no longer chase clarity, you become clarity. This is the moment the noise that built you stops leading you. There's a strange beauty in realizing you don't need to fix yourself anymore. What was broken has turned into an opening. You stop seeking light as a destination and begin to see it as something that quietly lives inside you. This is not the victory the world celebrates. It's quieter, like the dawn after a long winter. The Stoics called it living in accordance with nature. Jung called it individuation. Both pointed toward the same homecoming, alignment between the outer and inner worlds. Sit with that word for a moment. Alignment. Like tuning a string, don't yank it. Turn one notch until the note rings true. It doesn't mean perfection. It means wholeness. The moment you stop resisting life's rhythm and let it move through you. When you no longer demand that life makes sense before you trust it. One morning you make tea a little slower, and strangely the world no longer needs you to brace. When something small goes wrong today, someone interrupts you, plans change, the weather turns. Don't fix it. Smile instead. Feel how stillness now holds you, even when things bend. Because when peace is no longer a place you visit, but the ground you stand on, you realize the journey was never about escaping pain, but about discovering grace inside it. Rebirth isn't about starting over. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to perform. That kind of peace can't be taken. It can only be lived. And from this stillness, a new practice begins. Not of seeking balance, but living as it. Picture a long table at dusk. Every part of you takes a seat. Fear, courage, joy, grief. Wholeness begins when you pour water for all of them. Wholeness isn't an achievement, it's a practice. You don't arrive there once. It's something you recommit to daily in how you think, act, and love. The mature soul learns that integration is not found in perfection, but in participation. Wash the sink to the corners. Listen until the last word before you answer. Participate, don't perform. To live wholly is to allow all parts of you to exist at the same table. Fear, courage, joy, grief, and to listen to what each one has to say. Every time you reject a part of yourself, you divide your strength. Every time you accept one, you return to integrity. That's the quiet meaning of virtue. Inner unity expressed through deliberate action. The Stoics called it harmony of the will. Jung called it the union of opposites. When you stop fighting what is human inside you, you finally begin to live as something divine. Start small. When your mind is tangled, fold a shirt to a clean edge. Small order steadies a racing heart. When anger appears, don't hide it, guide it. When sadness visits, don't silence it. Let it speak until it becomes tenderness. When joy arises, don't cling. Share it and let it pass. In this rhythm of allowing, you find something the mind can't grasp. Flow. The fragmented self strives for control. The whole self moves with trust. Wholeness doesn't mean everything feels good. It means everything has a place. Even pain serves once you stop labeling it as the enemy. Each morning, whisper to yourself, I am not here to perform. I am here to participate. Wholeness includes others. Show up, keep your word, be of use. Then live 1 hour as if that were true. Watch how judgment fades and presence grows. Because the truth is, you were never meant to master life. You were meant to merge with it. And when you do, the war inside you ends. Not because you conquered, but because you remembered. There was never a war, only parts of you waiting to be seen. From this point, the next realization dawns. That real freedom begins the moment you let go of control itself. Freedom doesn't begin when you get what you want. It begins when nothing owns you anymore. You've spent years holding on, people, ambitions, memories, thinking they gave you meaning. But the truth is, most attachments start as love and end as cages. We cling because we fear that without them, we'll lose ourselves. Yet every time you let go, you discover the opposite. You were never losing, you were returning. Detachment isn't indifference, it's clarity. It's seeing things for what they are, not what you need them to be. It's loving without possession, working without obsession, and living without constant comparison. The Stoics practice this through view from above, stepping outside the moment, seeing life as a vast landscape. From that height, every loss becomes small, every gain becomes light. Try it now. Picture your worries from above, your dua, your envy, your relationships. They shrink and scale until you can breathe again. From that space, gratitude grows naturally because nothing is owed to you and everything is a gift. You stop chasing certainty because you finally see life was never meant to be held. It was meant to be experienced. To detach is to love more honestly, because when you stop needing, you start choosing. You begin to love not for comfort, but for truth. You work not for approval, but for purpose. You rest not because you're exhausted, but because you finally trust that the world can spin without your control. This is not withdrawal, it's liberation. When you no longer demand the world behave a certain way, you meet it as it is, and peace follows like a shadow. The man or woman who can stand in the center of chaos without clinging, without closing, is not cold. They are free. And from that freedom comes something rare, a quiet return to simplicity. At the end of every journey toward greatness, there is always a return to simplicity. Not because ambition was wrong, but because peace was always enough. After all the striving, learning, healing, you come back to what was here all along. The sunlight through a window, the taste of tea, the sound of your own breathing. Maturity isn't about adding more. It's about needing less. When you stop performing, you begin to live. When you stop collecting, you begin to see. Simplicity isn't poverty, it's precision. It's the art of keeping only what aligns with your soul and letting the rest dissolve. The Stoics call this living according to nature, to want less because you've finally seen what truly matters. It's sincerity. It's the way you pour water slowly, or the way you listen without planning what to say next. The world sells complexity because it fears stillness. But simplicity is not regression, it's evolution. The wiser you become, the quieter your life gets. You no longer chase noise, you cultivate meaning. You no longer seek to prove, you seek to be. Eat what you already have. Walk without destination. Notice how the air itself becomes generous. Fullness sounds like quiet, not applause. You will find that simplicity is not a downgrade. It's the highest luxury, because when life becomes simple, everything sacred becomes visible again. You remember that the miracle was never the achievement. It was the ability to feel sunlight, to breathe deeply, to exist fully. What was the first thing you had to release? And in that stillness, you realized something profound. The power you've been searching for was never outside. It has always been waiting quietly within you. From here, the final truth begins to rise, the power that awoke within. There comes a moment when everything quiets, not because life stopped challenging you, but because you no longer resist its rhythm. You begin to see that what you once called fate was simply your own reflection. And what you called coincidence was timing born of readiness. Every fall was guidance. Every silence was instruction. Every heartbreak was a door you were meant to walk through. This is the power that awoke within, not loud, not visible, but steady, aware, alive. The strength that doesn't shout because it no longer needs to prove. Listen, this is where the old story ends without noise. From here, you don't look for a sign. You are the sign. You no longer chase harmony, you live it with every breath. You understand now the journey was never about becoming someone new, but remembering the self that was never lost. That realization is liberation. It's the moment you stop asking life for meaning and begin creating it. Through small acts of honesty, quiet choices of integrity, and the courage to keep your heart open even when the world feels cold. Stand still. Feel your pulse. This is life moving through you, untouched by yesterday, unafraid of tomorrow. The Stoics called this serenity. Jung called it individuation fulfilled. But you don't need names anymore. You can feel it in the silence between your thoughts. If this silence felt like home, come back. We'll keep building it, one quiet practice at a time. You walked through chaos and came out steadier. You've carried weight and learned to set it down. You've met your shadow and found peace in its gaze. And now the soul that once whispered enough finally says, I'm home. If this message found you, it wasn't an accident. You were ready, not to be taught, but to remember, not to change, but to awaken. From this stillness forward, walk lightly. Let each breath remind you that nothing was wasted. Every loss, every pause, every ache, each one was a part of your return. When the world rushes, slow down. When fear calls, listen deeper. When life feels heavy, remember, you've already learned how to let go. You found this through Move or Die Stoic. But maybe it wasn't us who found you. Maybe it was time. If you want a calm voice to walk with you each week, subscribe. We'll meet here, same quiet, same honesty, because the power you were searching for was never meant to be found. It was meant to be remembered.